Well, first of all, I'd like to make an opening statement. I thought today was great for the Wyoming Cowboy fans. A chance to celebrate college football, come out to the stadium, enjoy and embrace the sunshine, and certainly was a great deal of enthusiasm. Quite frankly, sometimes I would have liked to gone up there with the students. They seemed like they were having a great time as well. Certainly there was some good things within the scrimmage and the game. There's some things we have to work on, but overall I thought the energy was really good. It was a fairly clean game. There were some things for spring games we need to clean up. But the Cowboys won. We're excited about that. We'll start our summer workouts May 24th and get ready for our opening game against Montana State. So at this time I'll open it up to questions anybody may have. Okay, Michael, I think you're up.
Hey, Craig, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
How would you evaluate Sean and Levi's performances today?
There was a little bit of a mixed bag. I thought some of the throws that I thought should have been fairly easy, completed balls were not. And then there were some throws that were challenging throws that either the receivers made a play or they made a couple nice throws as well. We're improving. We talked about improving our passing game. The efficiency on some of the shorter stuff needs to improve, but I certainly saw some explosive plays in the passing game, which is encouraging for us. We'll take a look at it. I think we've got two quarterbacks that are good players that can be successful in the Mountain West, and so it's always dangerous to make a blanket statement without watching the tape, but I was generally pleased with the explosive plays. Need to clean up some things. And I was a little bit disappointed. We let the clock run out a couple times. That's some stuff we got to get cleaned up as far as our operation. Next question. Davis?
Craig, I think they combined for 21 passes in the first half. Was the passing game an emphasis for the spring game offensively?
We had different guys calling the plays. I thought Paulsek did a good job other than the Midnight Rider play where we threw it back to the offensive tackle. What a dumb BS call that is. I'm going to fire that guy. Midnight Rider. What the hell is Midnight Rider and throwing it to a tackle and losing 15 yards? But outside of that, there was some good things, and we certainly tried to work on throwing the ball better. Tracy.
First off, you know what they say about the girls get prettier at closing time? Well, midnight is
That's a good commentary.
Did Swain look as impressive to you running down there or Titus?
Titus Swen?
Yeah, did he look as impressive to you in his rushing game as he did from upstairs?
I was upstairs, so my vantage point was about where yours was at. Titus possesses some excellent skill, and you saw his explosiveness, and there's things that he has to do to become a complete back, but he's an emerging back, and we're certainly excited about his play out there. I thought he added some great plays today. Sometimes some things are not scripted, and you have to have a guy make a play, which he certainly did. Cody? Yep.
How about Zaire Jackson to play him today? He's the only guy on campus from this class. He misses a pick earlier on a trick play and totally makes up for it.
Well, it was really encouraging. Zaire's from Valor Christian down there in Denver, and he reached out and did some good things during the course of the spring. He's still young. I mean, most of those guys are getting ready to go to prom their senior year, and he's out playing in a college football game. So it's good to see him out there. Michael?
I think first play of the game was 5 wide, which not all of us are necessarily used to. Just in terms of, you talked about re-engineering the offense a lot this offseason. Given what we saw today, would you say that this was a good look at what we might see this fall?
Well, that's the first look that you guys have had, and we've been working a lot of these things. We're still a work in progress, Michael, but we need to be more explosive. The term that I've used many times is re-engineer, and that's just a different focal point. We have to be true to who we are. We're going to play cowboy tough football, but we've got to expand and be more penetrating, and so we've worked on that. And I thought there were some good things with what we did today. Davis, yes.
Craig, I noticed Devin Wells-Ross was on a scooter.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Jennings didn't play. Are those anything you're concerned about long term?
Devo's going to graduate this summer and go on to the next phase of his life, so we're happy for him. He tore his Achilles, and he's getting in the back end of his career. Devin Jennings had suffered a concussion, and so he was not able to play. And then also we had several players that missed today that were COVID-related with some contact tracing. And so we're still working through those issues. We're pushing to get our guys vaccinated. But we were able to get through this spring, Davis, relatively healthy. And that's an indication of 10 hard weeks with our strength and conditioning staff. And we were able to finish off play. I thought it was a very competitive spring game. Michael?
Yeah, I was going to say, just in terms of what you would consider a quote-unquote successful spring, what did you have to see, and would you consider, these 10 weeks successful for you guys?
Well, the first thing that I saw our offensive line really establish the line of scrimmage and get some movement. We were in third and long a couple times, but not near as many as we've been. And so we got man on man and got some running creases in there. And then I thought our offense was more competent there. I did see some explosiveness on defense. But overall, I was really well pleased with this spring game. I thought we made progress during the course of the winter, and it showed up during spring. Our guys have been competitive, disciplined, and now it's time to take the next step forward. But overall, I would give this a pretty doggone good grade. Compared to my 18 years as a head coach, I was pleased with the spring game. Cody?
Craig, we haven't got to see Brash or Hollingsworth, so they look pretty good today. What do you think about their performance?
Some encouraging things. Both of them now, the ball was on the ground a little bit more. I think maybe Joey fumbled the ball. But Hollingsworth did some good stuff. We've got good depth at the running back position. We did not play X and Trey Smith a whole lot. They played some, obviously. Titus played, but Joey and Hollingsworth played. So we've got good depth at the running back position. Michael?
Yeah, when we talked to you on Thursday, I know you said that there's someone who always kind of appears out of nowhere in the spring game. I don't know if any of us saw Will Pellissier being a guy who's going to kind of
Bighorn. We call him Bighorn. I ran into my boss at halftime, and he goes, "Is he that good a player?" I said, "Yes." He said the whole Wildcatter jumped up and down, and he's been an emerging guy. He's got good speed. He positions his body well, and he caused some problems for us on the scout team last year. It's been good to see him go out there and mix it up and play. There's a case of here's a non-scholarship player from the state of Wyoming is coming in and contributing. Yeah, Davis.
So, Craig, you can, like him and Ryan Marquez and some of those guys, do you expect them to contribute for you guys this fall?
There's going to be a whole collection of wide receivers, and typically when a spring game occurs, you spread the teams out quite a bit. We'll see where we're at. Those guys are not, bumping at the top of the rotation with our depth chart, but you can see they can go out and function and play major college football. So that's encouraging for us. It gives us more options as we go through the season. It's going to be a competitive season. We need to build depth, and we're certainly doing that. Cody?
Craig, Chuck Hicks and Easton Gibbs aren't making this easy on you, are they?
No, it's always been great to see competitive guys out there. I don't know about their coach, Coach Bohl, the real Coach Bohl. Maybe have to go coach him up a little bit. It's been good to see those guys mix it up. Now, we did not play Chad Muma a lot today, but Chad's an excellent player and really smart. And so, we got the makings of a good linebacker core. Davis?
Craig, how soon do you want to finalize some of these depth chart decisions, and how soon do you plan on releasing the depth chart?
You know what? I think by next week we'll give a depth chart to the SID, and that's not etched in stone, but we're going to be making some decisions. I think what our football team needs to realize, we're going to need all the guys, and so however we sort the depth chart out, a lot of guys are going to be playing this next year, but you'll get something released this next week. Anything else, gentlemen? I know some players are probably outside. I want to say thanks for your coverage all spring. I'm in hopes that sooner or later you guys can I'd be sitting in this room looking across. But you know what? There's light at the end of the tunnel. We're making progress. And like I said at my opening statement, I think the biggest winner were the Wyoming Cowboy football fans. It was great to see them out there embracing college football. So thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Yep.
All right, guys, I got Sean here.
How you guys doing?
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Start us off.
It's going good.
I don't know who said. Okay. Hey, Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, first time playing in a while. One, were there any jitters for you? What was it like getting back out there in front of fans? And two, how would you kind of evaluate your performance today?
Yeah, I was telling my dad this morning, I said, I'm not nervous to play against, our team. I'm nervous just to play in a game. And I was a little bit, but after that first ball was started, I'm like, it's football again. And, I've been through this. It's not my first rodeo. So I was a little nervous, but after the first play, I was back. And my play was, it was okay today. There's definitely some throws and some stuff I wish I had back, but like I said, I haven't played much of football in the last year, so I'm going to take it with a grain of salt and get back to work.
Sean, I know the passing game has obviously been a huge point of emphasis for you guys. 4 passing touchdowns today, and you guys complete right at 60% of them. What do you feel like you guys sort of improved in what you guys are trying to do through the air?
Yeah, I think we put a big emphasis on that this offseason. We were dedicated and committed to changing this narrative about us, and I think that was on display today. But I know we can't stop here. This is against our team. We got to go implement this in the fall against other teams.
So Sean, did the coaches give you and Levi any indication as to where this battle stands coming into today, or did you feel like it's still open coming into today?
No, we don't really talk about that. We just talk about competing with each other. It's not competing against each other. It's competing with each other, and that's what we go out there and do. He was the guy on that team, and I was the guy on my team, and I just try to rally my guys and try to win the game, and thankfully we did.
There are some technical difficulties over here. Just in terms of, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, you've been in quarterback battles for a while now. Are you going to be relieved when this thing gets settled, regardless of how it goes? Or are you just going to kind of keep working? Like how do you kind of handle this?
I'm just going to keep working like someone is chasing me. I'm going to keep working, and I think that light or that fire right underneath you is what drives me, and I love that. I embrace that. I embrace competition, and it makes me a better football player. So as long as there is a battle or a battle, I'm going to keep working and keep trying my best.
What were your impressions of Titus Swen today? He looked pretty impressive considering he hasn't played in a while.
He's a baller. He's a baller, and that was on display today. I think all spring he's been playing really hard, running the ball really hard in our scrimmages, runs hard. He's a baller, and he's going to be on full display this fall.
So Sean, what did you see on the pick you threw there late in the game?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just, it was a bad read on my part, just trying to force it. It just came off a big pass play and trying to hit another one. It was a bad read. I should have probably just checked it down, or I should have checked it down. But, that's why we do this in the spring, to get those mistakes out of the way.
With the offensive line back in place now, did you notice a difference there? Were those guys up front for you?
No, I did. They were good today. They were great. Coach Frazier's got those guys all greased up, and they're working like one big unit up there, and it's nice. Those guys are playing well. Keegan's doing a really good job of leading those guys and making sure everybody knows what they're doing. So it was good today.
Sean, first play of the game, it's 5 wide. We saw some jet sweeps. It seemed more open than what we're kind of used to. Did it feel like Did the offense have a different feel for you guys too?
Yeah, it definitely did. I think we just have a little different swagger coming out. I think we want to be ahead of the change, and we're gonna have to throw the ball on first down. And if that's coming out in the first play of the game, and throwing the ball and sending a message, I think that's what we should do. So glad we did that today.
Hey, Sean, with the battle at quarterback, I mean, what's someone's name? Are you guys close enough in competition, you think, that it's going to be a battle all year long, not just till the end of spring ball?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I look at things. Every day's a battle. Going out there in the fall, regardless who's taking the first snap under center September 4th, it's going to be a battle, and we're going to be there for each other and make each other better. So that's just how I'm kind of looking at it right now.
You guys got any more questions? All right, thanks, Sean.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys, we got Zaire here. Davis, go ahead and start us off.
Zaire, how you doing, man? I think he's on mute, right?
I'm unmuted.
Okay. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, talk about the score you made there on special teams. What was that like, and what's this whole process of getting acclimated to the college game as an early enrollee been for you?
It's a lot. It's basically just knowing the playbook, keeping up with the tempo of the game. It's a lot faster than high school was. So, yeah.
What about that touchdown you scored there on special teams? What happened on that play?
Caleb wrapped up. He had a good play, and I just tried to make the best of it. And I saw a chance to strip the ball, and that's what I did. So.
What prompted you to decide to come in a semester early?
I had some family issues, and I just needed to come up early. I felt like that was the best thing for me.
There, you got your hands on one interception, and you didn't come down with it, and then you came back and redeemed yourself. Can you kind of take us through those plays?
Yeah, so the first time I kind of underwent the I don't know. I just timed the ball bad. Should have had a pick, but turned out he caught the ball. I had to turn up, had to make a tackle. The second one hit me right in the face. I don't know, I was too excited, I guess. And then the third one, I think third time's the charm, so I had to get that one.
Zaire, there's not a ton of established depth behind Azizi and CJ at corner. Do you feel like maybe you can crack the rotation there this year and supply some depth as a true freshman?
I would love to do that, but there's some guys in front of me right now. Cam Stone, he's pretty good. Xavier Carter, Caleb, they're all better. Or they're up there too. So I wouldn't want to say that I'm there yet, but I would love to have that opportunity if I can.
You guys got any more questions? All right, thanks, Zaire.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zaire.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I got Levi here. Cody, go ahead and start us off.
What's up, guys?
Having some technical difficulties over here.
All right, well, okay. Michael.
Hey, Levi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Just kind of take us through, the spring game. How did you feel you performed, and how would you say, you kind of in this competition with Sean? How would you say things are kind of looking right now?
I think I did really well. I think we had a lot of fun out there, and that was a big key. I feel like our squad had more fun than the other squad. And we chipped away. We really had to earn our keep on the field and earn our touchdowns. I mean, they had a screen go for 80 yards. I mean, that's just dink and dunk, And then they have Titus Swen. That guy's he's a different breed. So, but I felt like we did good. We earned it. Had a lot of young guys in there, helping them out. And, I'm excited. I'm excited to use this and go into summer and, train my butt off and get into fall camp and, just compete. I'm excited for this season.
Levi, for you guys to have 4 passing touchdowns. You complete right around 60% of your passes. What do you think that says about the progress you guys have made in this offense in the passing game?
I think it speaks volumes to us because we've been working our butt off. We get graded, like I said, every practice. I mean, nets, receiver drill, 7-on-7 team. So we've been, as quarterbacks, we've been working really hard, and we want to win a championship. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take us throwing 60, 70%. And we had some drops in there on both sides, and we can clean those up. But as long as we're doing our job at quarterback, then we'll be in a good situation. So.
Hey, Levi, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you? I see you're on the other camera.
Will Pelsier, can you talk about him a little bit today? And also, you throw that touchdown on a 4th and 1. Are you going to be telling the offensive coaches we can do this? Let's go on 4th and 1 every time.
4th and 5, by the way. And yeah, man, Will's an awesome guy. He's a young guy. Hasn't got a lot of game experience in yet, but I'm excited. I'm excited about him. And I felt like a lot of guys performed today that they needed to. I know he's upset with himself. He had 2 drops today, but I'm excited, and I think Coach now has the confidence to, if we're 4th and 5, or less, and it's in a big game, we need it. We're gonna convert. So, that's exciting, and yeah. So.
Levi, I don't know if this is just because we haven't seen you guys play in a really long time, but it looked like your velocity was up. Like, your passes had a lot more zip on them. Is that accurate? Like, does your shoulder feel stronger?
Yeah, my shoulder definitely feels stronger, especially from last season. I mean, I would say, towards the end of the season, I'm teetering at like 50%, 60% that I could throw at. So I feel good, and, I feel strong. My shoulder feels good. One mistake when we had pressure towards the end, that pick really got me upset, but we won't talk about it. But yeah, I feel good. Shoulder feels strong, and like I said, I'm excited to get into the summer, work with the guys, and go into fall camp, get ready for the season.
Question.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Sean talks about the relationship you guys have, how you can pull for each other, but obviously you both want to start. How would you describe that?
I mean, you want the best for the guy, but, at the end of the day, I'm a competitor, and I want to play. I want to do what I know I can do. There's times where I'm not in, and I'm like, man, I could have made that throw or something like that. But, that's just selfish. And I know Coach P is going to put in the best guy, and that's all that matters, So he's going to play the hot hand, and if that's me, if that's him, doesn't really matter. It's just what's best for the team, and that's how it's going to go. So.
I almost get a feeling listening to this that the battle for the starting spot could last all season.
It could. I don't know. It depends what Coach P wants to do. Like I said, I trust him. I know he's going to play the hot hand. So, yeah.
Levi, were you expecting to go in there late in the 4th? I don't think we saw you all in the 3rd. Did that catch you off guard, or was that part of the game plan going in?
I was under the impression that I was done for the day after the first half. And then we got behind, and then we had that muffed punt there, and they scored. So that was frustrating. And then we had some bad rotation at O-line. So, but, it is what it is. You always got to be ready. So, but I feel like I did good. Besides the pick, personally, I thought I was sacked before I threw it, but yeah, I feel like I did good. Like I said, we had a few drops in there, but I feel like as an offense we performed well. So.
Levi, I was wondering if you happened to see what Trent Dilfer said about you this week on the Ryan Russillo show, talking about how Wyoming's got a beast. He couldn't remember your name, but he said they have a 6'4", 225-pound beast there that could be another up-and-comer. I wondered if you heard that and what your thoughts are about that.
I had not heard that. That's come from good company, though. Trent's a good guy. He trains a lot of good guys, and he played in the league himself. So, it's humbling. But, for me, I know I got a lot of work to do. I felt really good about reading the defense today. But, there's still – I'm going to watch tape, and there's still going to be a few things where, man, I could have gone here, I could have gone there. So, yeah, always trying to get better and, just not being satisfied with where we're at. So.
Levi, throughout the spring, do you feel like you've made a pretty good case for yourself to be the starting quarterback for this team?
I do. I think there's still a lot of steps to be taken, especially this summer. It's going to take a lot of, working with the guys and, sacrificing our time. Because, like I said, we won a championship and we've never done that before, and it's going to take, a different kind of commitment. And so we're going to do that this summer, and we're going to go to fall camp. And like I said, Coach P is going to play the hot hand. So.
All right, guys, good? Thanks, Levi.
All right, have a good day.
Thanks, Levi.
Okay, well, I'll have it. I have you. I put you guys on there.
In there.
So I'll have this up 5 minutes afterwards.
Okay, thanks.
Tracy, go ahead. Okay, Davis, go ahead.
Titus, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, well, just what do you think about your performance today? I mean, your first real game-like reps in more than a year. What was it like out there for you?
It felt pretty good. It was good to be back. I haven't been with my team for a little over a year, like you said, and just coming back, they embraced me with all open arms, and we got rolling, and it's the product y'all saw.
You had two explosive plays. I think it was you had a 71-yard screen pass catch, and then you had the 55-yard touchdown run. Can you kind of take us through both of those plays?
Oh, the screen pass, that was kind of a busted play, but me and Sean locked eyes. He delivered the ball, and, the rest was history after that. But unfortunately, my roommate, Kayla Robinson, had to turn on the jets and catch me. But, we're not going to talk about that too often. But, yeah.
I know it's a crowded backfield with X back and Trey back, but do you feel like you're going to be a major contributor to this team?
Oh, yes, sir, most definitely. I feel like I can contribute as much as Trey and X can, and so can the other running backs, even DeJuan McNeely, Zoe Andrews, and one of my favorites, Jeremy Hollingsworth.
You talked about having been away for more than a year and coming back. Were you concerned at all about what it would be like when you came back, or were you pretty comfortable that everything would be copacetic?
I was pretty comfortable. When I had opted out, I was keep communicating with my teammates, make sure everything was okay, make sure they was checking up on me, make sure my family was okay. Everything was rolling. We never skipped a beat.
Titus, Coach said last week that you are probably the leading candidate to be a kick returner. We didn't see you today doing that. Do you feel confident in that? Is that something you look forward to?
I feel very confident in that. That's something I look forward to during the season. I'm not sure why I wasn't out there today. I was on the twos, but hopefully they can get me out there during fall camp and we can get rolling during the season.
Titus, you had to break a lot of arm tackles today on some of those explosive plays. Do you feel like, is that a strong point of your game, do you feel like? And maybe where do you feel like you still need to improve?
My game's not near where I need it to be or want it to be yet. I still got some improving to do from my cuts, my explosiveness, my stiff arm, catching the ball, pass protecting, all that. I still want to be the best back I can be, and I feel like Coach Gordy and all the rest of the offensive coaches are bringing me to that point.
Titus, what are your thoughts on this, re-engineered offense of Coach Polsek? What do you kind of see in front of it?
Oh, I love it. We airing the ball out more. Our receivers are getting more love. Our running backs are getting love. The linemen are loving the run game. It's just a whole new system, and we're loving it.
We got any more questions, guys? All right, thanks, Titus.
Thank you.
Thanks, Titus.
here. That'll be our last one. Cody, you working? You good?
I'm working.
Go ahead.
Chuck, how's it going, man?
It's going good. How about you?
Good, good. You and Easton aren't making this very easy on the coaches with this battle. Where do you feel this battle's at, and do you like that? Do you like to have a guy that's kind of in your hip pocket like this?
Yeah. It's always good to have competition because, at the end of the day, that makes us push even harder. And it makes myself push even harder, because I feel like, people that maybe don't have a certain competition behind them you can get lackadaisical. And I feel like that's the worst way to go. And I feel like I've, brought it all to the table just because of that, and maybe go even harder. So.
Chuck, I know a lot of the talk, this spring has been on, the offense and what Tim Polasek's doing. But how do you feel the defenses look this spring, and how do you feel about today's performance for you guys?
I feel like the defense this spring has been good as a whole. Today, I just feel like we could have been better on tackling, just finishing tackles, and that's, both sides. I feel like just too many arm tackles. But overall, I think we've been doing really good. Just little things we got to clean up, and that's just comes with the game, though.
Chuck, what's it like going up against this re-engineered offense?
It's interesting, just because they do a lot more, and it's not like we're expecting power every play. We're not thinking they're going to run the ball every time. They're throwing it, outside zone a lot, and I feel like it's a good experience to have a different change because we're not going to see that against any other team, so.
Do you feel like that messed with you guys at all as a defense last year? Obviously, the stats say you guys were fine, but you're facing that all the time, the power kind of game. Now you get to kind of see a little bit of everything. Is that going to help?
Yeah, I feel like it definitely helps because, like the thing is with going against this type of offense, it makes it so much easier when we get in the game. So it's like that's just it's the best thing to go in the game because we're like, oh, we know a play's coming. We feel a play's coming. It's way easier though.
So, Chuck, how many times have you guys had to defend the throwback pass to the offensive tackle this spring?
We figured I was going to pull something out, but we didn't see that at all in practice. So we knew a throwback was coming. We just didn't know what type.
Chuck, we didn't see a lot of Chad movement today, but it looked like he was doing some coaching. How is he as a coach?
It was funny because, it was because him doing the play calls and signaling. He's on the sideline. He's making sure with me. He's like, hey, is this the call? I'm like, yeah. We was talking about it. It was just funny, but it was interesting seeing him on the sideline. Had to find him through all the jerseys.
Do we take it that Alonzo's their most athletic offensive lineman? Is that why he got the ball, or would you have picked another lineman to get the ball to?
I don't know. I think he's definitely like the biggest dude. It's supposed to be harder to take him down, but I don't know. But it was I was surprised on that because I was like, I went this way and I saw him coming back, and I was like, oh, well, there's a lineman sitting there. So.